What's going on, everybody? Another day, another live stream. How's your Wednesday going? Mine is off to a pretty decent start. As usual, woke up, got ready, started doing this. Not too much has happened in between, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty good day. Anyways, let me know how your day's going. I know that some of you are watching in all kinds of different parts of the world, and I really love to hear like where you're coming from because it just always blows my mind how many people and where you people are at in the world. It's just really crazy to me. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, Gonzalo's back here in Chile. We changed the season hour, so it's 9:24 a.m. Oh, okay. So you get so y'all have something like daylight saving time, which is what we have. Oh, there's an echo. Oh no. Let's double check. Some type of echo. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Hold on. There we go. All right, I think I fixed it. All right, so it sounds like y'all have something like what we call daylight saving time here in the States. I don't know if y'all call it that, but yes, awesome. And thank you, Gonzalo, for telling me about the echo. I usually don't catch these things, and y'all do, and I appreciate it. But yeah, we had our time change, like last month. So for me to get up at 5:30 a.m., it was let's see, spring forward. So I think it was like trying to get up at 4:30 a.m. So yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that's cool. I always find it interesting, like to hear which places observe and which places don't observe. There's places in the states that don't observe it, so it's always interesting to find out. Anyways, this is where we left off last time. We were working. Oh, Juka's back. What's up, man? Thanks for coming back. How's your day going? I think that yesterday you had mentioned that your day was going pretty good. Uh, Yo, what's going on? How's your week going? Rio, welcome back. So my week is going a little bit stressful. There's like a lot to do at work, and I'm trying to get that all figured out. But it's going pretty good overall. How about you, Rio? How's your week going? Yeah, anytime, Juka. All right, let's quit this. We're trying to open up the simulator. And anything that I can close, I should probably close. Just because it gets all laggy in the stream. Oh, Rio's week is going amazing. Love to hear it. Hey, I think I'm supposed to be. I think I'm supposed to have some posts here, aren't I? Okay, we may potentially have a bug. Yeah, we may have a bug. Why didn't it load the first time? Okay, that's fine. As long as it's loading at all is important, but it should have loaded the first time. We can discuss that. So in this video or in this live stream, the goal is to get this working. So there's technically supposed to be like an image right here, but it's not showing because we don't have the actual image. So today I have to figure out how to download a remote image in Flutter, but it has to be cached and I have to do it by a key. So lots to learn. Flutter remote image. Remote. Let's start off right there. Display images from the internet. Right? We could do network, right? But what we actually need is we need like something custom. because I want to be able to pass in a key, and then what I want to do is I want to be able to download that image and also cache it. So let's see if they give us any information. And I wouldn't really expect to get this information out of the Flutter docs, because like this is like a very custom use case, right? Okay, hey, by the way, about keys. Oh, okay. Got some more info. Keys actually play a pretty important part. Keys make Flutter apps precisely behaving. Preserve state of widgets precisely. Yesterday, I just assumed they were not a big deal. Oh, yeah. For sure, they are definitely a big deal. But I think like having to interact with keys is like the thing that we were kind of talking about. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's awesome that you did your own research just to find out. Like, always recommend doing that. So really good job on finding that. And yeah, like the keys are for like Flutter to know which widgets are changing and to like hang on to a reference of that specific widget and only rebuild the ones that need it and stuff like that. So yeah. What's going on, Limbani? I'm going with that name because I could kind of pronounce it a little bit, hopefully. But welcome back. I'm about to start Flutter development. Need your assistance on some development resources and how to set up on Mac. Yeah, we can probably look at that real quick because we're already here. Go over here to the install. So you want to go to flutter.dev, and then there should be some type of docs. Let's see. Okay, go to flutter.dev, you go to docs, you go to get started, go to install, choose Mac, and then it's going to walk you through. It's pretty good documentation, actually, Limbani. I think that you should be able to just kind of follow along here, and then it's like nothing too tricky. But yeah, feel free to reach out on the Discord. If you do get stuck, feel free to reach out on Discord. But I think that this is essentially what you want. Okay, so back to trying to find out how to download these images. Ooh, okay. Hey, it's not going back. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it keeps doing this. How to display images from URL or networks. Better way to load images from network. Let's see, cached network image. I've worked with that. That does seem to be pretty decent. Let's see if it supports like a custom constructor or like custom implementation. Let's see. I don't think that they're going to show it in the example. Okay. I know what I could look for. So what I'll do, Flutter, remote image, Firebase storage. So Firebase storage uses this key system. That's very, that's also how Amplify storage uses it. So we could use a similar approach. I just need to find out what they're using. All right, let me see. They may have built it themselves. You see this? Yeah, this is not necessarily what we want. Use get down. No. Okay, so we may have to build something ourselves. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Limbani. Let me think. By the way, suggestion on Flutter channel choice in install. Suggestion on Flutter channel choice in install. Release channel. Oh, the channels. You're probably going to want to go with stable if you're going to do it that way. But the way that they instruct you to do it is, let's see. I think the way that they instruct you to do it is just to download this, which is the stable version of it, and then you can run Flutter upgrade. Like if you do it like this, where you download it, then you don't have to worry about install. Like I don't even know if you can choose the different branches though. That's the problem. I don't know if you can choose the different branches because it's more like just installing that specific branch. But if you want to have control over that, then you would download it from GitHub instead, and then you would check out recommended as stable right here. But yeah. And any handouts like video series resources you would like to recommend. Well, I'm doing all of this in this 30 days of Flutter challenge, which is now over 60 days. It's taking me quite some time to finish, but what I would recommend, what's going on, Clean Swift? Yes. What I would recommend is starting off with this hashtag 30 days of Flutter. And this is kind of assuming that it assumes that you have some knowledge of programming, but you don't have any knowledge of Flutter other than it just being installed. So I think that it's a pretty good starting point. You get to build like a bunch of different little projects. But I mean, that's obviously biased, I put it out, so I think that it's decent. So, you might feel like, oh, this is poop. And then you tell me, hey Kilo, this is poop. And then I'm like, yeah, I actually knew that deep down inside, so you're right. All right. Let's see. So I think that we're going to have to build this this image thing by ourselves. It's kind of interesting that they don't already have like something that's built in, which is like a very different situation to be in when you're working with Flutter. A lot of the times, a lot of the stuff is just already built in. See, even this is interesting because yeah, like they're expecting some type of path to be constructed when usually you just have the key, the name. But yeah, if that works, that works. All right, well then I'll just go ahead and make my own. Let's go to the repo. I'm actually going to reverse engineer this. Yes, I've been into iOS Development Buddy for more than 7 years. Oh, well, I didn't know that. But so yeah, like if you wanted to get started with Flutter, it starts off kind of slow for somebody that knows how to program. But it does cover like the basics, and I think it has some pretty cool projects in there to learn. Bro, I was making your Pokedex app and I want to add search bar to it. Can you help me? If you want to add search, I guess there's a couple of different ways to do it. You could probably hit the API, but you could also just do a filter type search. But yeah, like if you want to join the Discord and if you have questions about it, we can go over it there. All right, let's go ahead and see how they built this because, yeah. Let's see how complex it is. All right, you have your Firebase image, cache refresh strategy. I want to see this. Okay, that's an enum. Cache manager. Yeah, I think that this is probably going to be pretty similar to something that I would implement. except they're adding the ability to put files and stuff like that. Dang, I really don't want to do this myself though. Look at all that. I don't want to deal with that. All right, let's build it. Let's build it. Somebody got to build it, so let's let it be us. All right. Let's start off fresh with the terminal. Let's update what we've done so far. Get add commit, and then what did we do last time? Add new post functionality. So I'm not sure how I want to do this. So like, what should the API be for this thing, right? Ideally, what I would do is, let's take a look. Where am I doing my post feed? Let me think. Okay, so let's think about what the API should be, right? Like, I think that's how I usually like to go about it. That's like, how should I use this thing, right? And we would have like some type of child, and then it would be an image, an amplify image, right? Amplify image, or actually, yeah, let's just do an amplify image right now. I'll probably build this out and make it a little bit more robust and friendly for other implementations, but I want to be able to pass in an amplify image. I want to be able to have some type of placeholder. So that's going to be some type of image. So do image like that, right? Let's just pretend like we could do image like that, right? And then we would also have the image key. And then it would be like some image key .jpg, and it would be that. That's all I really want to be able to do. So I want to do the placeholder. I want to pass in an image key, and yeah. All right, so there might be this for Flutter: get a file from URL network to file image. Okay, network to file image. Okay, let me look that up, because if I don't have to build this, that would be ideal. Because then if I have to build it, then y'all have to build it, and that is not cool. It's not cool. Network to file. What does this do? This is a mixture of file image and network image. It will download the image from the URL once, save it locally to the system, and then use it from there in the future. Kind of. Let's see. So the problem here is that I don't have this URL. I can get this URL. It'd probably be easier to just do it that way. But the easiest thing would just to be use the key, and then we don't have to do this weird mapping thing. And let me explain the situation a little bit better, because I don't think that I'm doing a good job of explaining it, to be honest. So let me refresh this. Let's make sure that we're still signed in. We can still see everything. And here we go. So this is the image key, right? This is what we're storing in our database, right? This guy right here. And then there's also, if I open up AWS, there's also, we should already be signed in, the actual image key over here in S3. Is there a faster way to get to this? I just realized that I might have to look for it, and I don't want to do that. There we go. Could have just done that. All right. What's going on, NetSpike? Hope you are able able to keep moving forward. Good job lately. You've been working through your problems. Love it. All right, so as you can see, let's see. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, so here we go. Right, we have this image key which is stored in our database. So this is like us looking at our database, and then this is the actual thing that's being stored, not a URL, right? Like I don't have the URL. Now, if I wanted to use the URL, if I select this one, this is S3. This is a whole entire different service. This is what Amplify Storage is using under the hood to store your images, your photos, your videos, things like that. If I wanted to get the URL, I could get it like this, right? I could just assume that I have all the information, which is like not a best practice. It's not safe. And then also like there are authorization rules in place. So not every image is going to work like that. So as you can see, I could get the URL, but that's like an extra step. And if I have a list of posts, right? If I have a list of objects, a list of posts, yeah. If I wanted to show these 3 posts in my feed, then I would have to either fetch the URL for each of those images, which I would do by sending in the key. Let me show that, just so that I can explain that as well. Let's see, libraries, storage. Okay, so you see, I would have to get the URL with my key, and then once I have that URL, I would be able to display it like any other URL, but I don't want to do that. What's going on, Javier? So ideally, it would be better if I could just pass in a key. It will do this operation in the background, but after it downloads the file, then what it would do is it would reference that file in the future. So essentially, it would be doing the same thing that you had sent to me, where it's doing exactly what is explained here, right? It downloads the image once from that key, using that key, and then saves it locally in the file system, and then use it from there. So that is the plan. Yeah, I think that is what we want to do. So yeah. And I thought there was a way to download just the data, but maybe not, because that's not really a whole entire concept in Flutter. So this is what I want to build, amplify image. So let's go ahead and try to build this out and see if we can do it or not. If I can do it, I guess. Y'all are going to be helping me, hopefully. Amplify image.dart. And there's going to be a lot of different concepts that we have to have in here, like, well, no, because it's actually going to be saving it to a file system, so it might not be as crazy as I think it might be. All right, let's go ahead and let's start off by making a class. This is going to be a stateful widget, I think. We won't be using blocking here, I don't think. That might make it a little bit more complicated, and then also to have the dependency on block just to do this, if we wanted to make it another package, would not be good. So let's go ahead and call this amplify image extends stateful widget. And the reason why we're going to have it be a stateful widget is because we are going to actually need to change that image when it finishes downloading. So then we have amplify image state, like that, extends state and of our amplify image, like that. And now we can do this good old create state. like so. Amplify image state like that, like that. Add the build method to this. Build method, it's just called build. Build, there we go. And then what do we need when we pass it into the constructor of our amplify image? Well, we would have one widget and a string. So we have the placeholder widget. So let's do widget placeholder and string image are, let's think, it needs to be what, an image key? Image key like that. Then we update our constructor. We'll do this amplify image like this. Here comes our key. Remember we were talking about that key earlier. Then we have this dot placeholder, this dot image key. We want to also do super, pass in that key. Do you love me? Like so. Now that we have the placeholder and the image key, what we need to do is we need to build out this image. So the hard part is making sure that it's going to stay the right size. Let's see. Do we have some type of ratio? No. Aspect ratio. There we go. Aspect ratio. And this takes in an aspect ratio. What is this? It takes in a double. So 1:1. All right, so we have an aspect ratio. So let's return this. And I would assume that aspect ratio has children. No, child? It has child, okay. And this would be a stack. Let me think. We may need a size. Hold on, let's go ahead and take a look at that other one, cache network image, because that will also help us define network image, Flutter, like that. Because I want to think about like how did they get it to be the same size. Image builder. See if we could just do, hold on, what is this? Image builder. Cached network image. Let's see how to use with a placeholder, with a progress indicator. Oh, hold up. What is this? Cached network image provider. Oh, hold up. This might work. Okay, so if we can use this cached network image provider, hold on. That is pretty juicy. Hold on, I didn't see that. Cached network image provider. Yeah, hold on. I need to find that because you see how it's taking in this URL right here? Cached network image provider. If we can create a custom implementation of this, then we'll be gold. And sometimes libraries that are more forward thinking will do this, and that's kind of what I was expecting. So let's go ahead and take a look at the repository. Sounds like it could act as middleware if we build the actual thingy. Yeah, it could. It definitely could. Let's see, cached network image something. Cached network image provider. Source cached network image provider. What is this? Cached. Oh, okay. So it is an abstract class. Okay. Let me think. Cache network image provider. I know that we can use this. Hold on. Currently, there are two different ways to show an image on the web with both their own pros and cons. So, don't care about that. An image provider to load images from the network with caching functionality. Right? Okay, so this is the part that interests me, is that it extends this image provider thing. Creates an object that fetches the image at a given URL. The argument, okay, so then let's take a look. What is this? Hold on. So we're passing in all this stuff, and then there's an image provider. Huh. I wonder if we could just extend an image provider. Image provider, cached network image provider. That's like a really weird thing. So like it's an extension on itself? What? This is weird. How does that work? Okay, hold on. Let's try something first before we go down this path, because if we don't have to do everything. That is definitely the most ideal. Okay, so let's take a look at this bad boy, shall we? Okay. So I want to extend wait, but what's the concrete class? See, this is the problem. This is what's going to drive me crazy. This is an abstract class, right? Cache network image provider. Now, where's the concrete class? Right? Like, where's the actual thing? So, image provider, web IO, multi image stream completer. Maybe it's IO. Since we want it to just be regular. Class cache network image provider. I feel like I'm going crazy. They're using the same name all over the place, and this is like kind of bothersome. So let's go ahead and try to extend it the way that they did. We may need to do implements, but let's go ahead and try to do class amplify image provider, and this extends image provider. Sounds like it, image provider dot load converts a key into an image stream completer and begins fetching the image. Image provider dot load. Let me see. Let's see. Thanks for joining the Discord, Limbani. Appreciate that. Where's the load function? I saw it too, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Hold on. Over here, probably. Load. It takes a key and decoder callback. Image stream completer. Damn, this is confusing me. All right, I'm going to follow them exactly first, and then we'll splinter off. So let's go with this. What is this? Multi-image stream completer. Way over my head, I think. All right, let's go ahead and try to implement this first. So cache network image provider. Somehow this implements itself. Abstract class. This extends image provider cached network image provider, like that, which cache net. Yeah. It just goes ahead and just makes it okay. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever. Anyways, it looks like we don't need to necessarily extend anything. Or it doesn't, we don't necessarily need to implement anything. It just extends this, right? So then image provider cache network image. Yeah, no problem, Lambani. No problem at all. So cache network image provider. Okay, so then we don't need this because we're not doing anything schmancy. Oh, maybe we do need that. Okay, so then do abstract, or no, we'll do class. Concrete image provider extends. So this is the concrete class. Wow. It extends and it implements the same thing. What? Okay. Extends image provider. Image provider. I'm probably not even going to be able to go through with this. This is so confusing. Cached image provider like that. Implements cached like that. All right. Now we just need to find out how image provider.load. Image provider.load. Is there a fix it? Can I get a fix it? Ooh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. It's starting to come together, maybe. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we have two different things. We have obtain key and we have load. Okay, so let's take a look at how this works for them. So obtain key, synchronous future. Wow, I've never even seen that before. Cached network image provider. Okay, we're going to be flipping back and forth, so I need to have a separate tab. And that was not it, but we'll find it. All right. Cache network image provider. And what were we looking for? So we were looking for a synchronous future cached network image provider. Cached. What? Oh man. Okay, let's try to implement it and then see where it gives us a problem. I am stumped, y'all. This is like yeah, this is like some next level. So we are doing that in the obtain key, the synchronous future, right? So let's go ahead and try to do this. There we go. What is this? I don't know. I don't like it, but okay. Return synchronous future this, and we'll pass in a cached network image provider like that, and that just magically works. So I'm gonna leave it right there. That works. Okay, cool. All right, the next one is a stream controller. And I have no idea what's going on here. Okay, multi-image stream completer. Oh man, this is just like, woo, over my head. Okay, so we need to implement, or we need to return this, right? And wow, this is tough. Chunked events, what is that? Load async. So yeah, this is way over my head. Look at, we're read as bytes. They're decoding stuff. I think I want to give up. This is way too much. There's no way, like, okay, even if I did learn all this, there's no way I'm teaching this to anybody. This is like a full on implementation of something that I don't even fully understand. All right. I think I'm going to back out. I'm going to back out of that. It was a good try. I'm going to go back to a much simpler cool, too cerebral for me anyway. Yeah, same here, Ruffix. I'm right there with you. Okay. This is starting to resemble actually Java. Yeah. A lot of similarities. In like the language syntax for sure. Okay, so I think I could still accomplish something very similar by myself, right? We can keep it super simple and we can use the widgets that are automatically provided to us, and that is something that I think that I might be willing to teach depending on the complexity. But yeah. So what we would do is we'd have some type of placeholder widget, right? And that should be some type of image, we would assume. But anyway, what we would have is this, we don't necessarily need this aspect ratio. Let's just build it out with the bare minimum, and then we'll fix any bugs that come up as they come up, right? So we're going to start off with a stack. We're going to go with the children. We are going to put the placeholder in the bottom. And then what we need to do is we need to find out if we have successfully loaded the image. So then we need to like have a load image that we would have our remote image. So let's go ahead and create a function that's going to do that for us. We have a widget. image, load image like this. And let's see. I think that if we return null, then it's fine. So let's see what happens. We should be able to just do it, load image right here, and then if it breaks, then I'll update it. Sounds like a plan. I was sweating. Yeah, I was sweating too. I was like, man, this is getting way too complex. That abstract class almost made me code a punched card. A punched card? Made me code a punched card. What is that? A punched card? Okay, so let's go ahead and load this image, and I'm just gonna start doing what I could do is I could return a builder context like this. And let's see, now we need to load the image. So let's go ahead and do amplify storage dot, I think we only have the download file available to us. We will access the key from this image key. So we'll do widget dot image key, and the local, let's see. Too old for you. Really? I don't know. I feel like I would have got it. But maybe. Look like a younger dude in your picture, so you look good for your age. At least there's that. All right, so we have to download it to a local file. Now I need to just figure out like how I want to do that, right? Now it's saying this path. I don't know if that's like actually a real thing. So let's go ahead and try that first. And I don't think that it is, but we can try it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, first let's import this, right? Yeah, path is not automatically given to us. It's not like some magical thing that's just floating out there. So what we need to do is we need to create a file path and a Flutter file path. Write file. Let's see. So we want to access a local path. We're going to get that local path. Got it. Okay. So let's write data to the file, read testing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Find the correct local path, directory path. Then I wonder if I need to, okay, let's just start off with the simple thing, right? We'll throw this in right here, like that. This application document, we need to probably import something like IO or something, path provider. Oh man, what a bummer. All right. Let's see, we need to go to our pubspec.yaml, and where did it go? Why is Docker open? That's kind of weird. Path provider. Woo! There we go. We'll just do latest. Save it. Let's get that stuff. Oh, this picture is like 12 years old. Oh, okay. Check wiki, punched card. I cannot share links. All right. Let me see if I could look up punched card real quick. I'm curious now. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. I mean, I just didn't know it was called a punched card. I think in the States we just call it a punch card, maybe. I've heard that. I didn't know if punched card might be different. You know, sometimes things are different just depending on little things like an ED on it. But yeah, I know what that is. Like you're about to clock into work, right? All right. Let's see. Um, let's see. Path provider like this. We return that. Do we need to have a new directory? So directory dot let's see, do we need to add like another directory, or if I add a path to the end of it, will it automatically work? That's the interesting part. So path provider, let me think. I want to create like a subdirectory, right? Like all my images should be like in this in a folder called like cached image, right? So way too much going on here, but essentially I just want to do a subdirectory. Let's just do a path provider subdirectory, Flutter path provider subdirectory. Okay. Yeah, so I think that they're trying to do what I'm trying to do. Image directory list. No. You know what? Let's just try. Let's just see what happens. And then, we'll go from there. F it. F it. F it. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll do final path is equal to local path. And this is a future string, so we have to put async right here. Maybe async. I have to put async somewhere, damn. How do we do this? Future builder, huh? All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Future builder, goodness. Oh man. Context. Is that correct or is that not correct, or what do we need? Snapshot. The future itself. Future. Local path, or yeah. Local path like that. Then we have snapshot should be that path, right? Async dynamic. This should be what? A string. And build context. Let me see, dynamic. Does that work then? Okay, that does work. So it's not. So I'm trying to figure out like how the heck do I make this snapshot? The snapshot should be a string because the local path is a string, right? Let's see. Oh, Juka, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And the cool pear sign. Oh, yes. How's he doing it? Like that? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Made my day. Awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to find this local path, but I don't know what this type should be. Like snapshot, snapshot. Oh, this is an async snapshot, that's why. Async snapshot with string like this, that's what it is. Right? Snapshot dot has data. Yeah. This is super. Yeah, I'm happy that you're enjoying it. I felt like I'm like going kind of slow, but like I'm trying to learn this stuff too, you know? That's the whole entire problem is like I have to learn all this stuff to teach it. But yeah, thank you so much. Always happy when people feel like they're getting some type of value out of these streams. They're helpful for somebody. All right. So then I don't need the context. Async snapshot string, that should be fine. What's going on, Night Fury Gaming? How's your day going? You know, Juka just made mine a whole lot better. Okay, so if snapshot dot has data, and I forgot my parens. Okay, so else return null. Can we do return null? I think that should be fine. And then let's also do, so now that we have the file path, so final path is equal to snapshot.data. This should be a string, right? The data should be a string. There we go. Now that we have that path, we should be able to do amplify dot storage dot download file. We'll pass in the widget dot image key, and then the local will be a file with a path. Then we put it in a subdirectory called cached images. Then we do the image key, widget dot image key. Right? I think that looks correct to me. Yeah. This, yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's say that we're going to be able to put it in this cached images thing. Like, let's say that we're able to just simply create a new directory just by doing a path like that. I kind of doubt it, but hey, who am I to stop anything? But let's go ahead and take a look at what else we need to do. So once we have that downloaded, we now have the file. Oh, okay. We now have the file, and then we can create the image from the file. Got it, got it, got it. All right, so final file is equal to this. We will put the file right here. And then what we need to also do. Oh, Hemloka. Hey, Kilo. Sorry I missed your streams. I had work to do. I'm back, though. Well, welcome back. That's awesome that you're back, Hemloka. Thanks. Thanks for coming back. Sounds like you've been busy. What have you been working on? All right. So now that we have that, we can also return can return an image. Let me see, an image from a file, and we pass in that file like that. There we go. And what we want to do is we also want to await. And this would have to be async. Dang, still can't do that. How do we do this? Just projects I had to get done. I haven't finished them in months, so I decided it was my main opportunity. Yeah, I have our main priority. I have a lot of stuff that I got to do this weekend. There's actually going to be a hackathon that I'm going to be joining too. So that's going to make it a little bit difficult, but hey, I'm about it. Let's see. Await. So this, I assume that it gives us the results, and man, let's see. How do we do this? I could just do this asynchronously. I don't necessarily need to return a widget. So if I turn this into a void, then there's no need to do a future builder. And if we just do async like this, we would have to get rid of this. Let's take a look. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop this whole future builder because it's getting a little bit too complex for my brain. And what I want to do is this. I'm going to actually just put it in a function, and then whenever I get that file back, that's when I will essentially, that's when I'll decide to update the state. Final path is equal to local path, like that. We're going to wait for that. Then what we'll do is we'll have final file is equal to this, our file, and we have the string, which is going to be path. Then it's going to be cached images. Then it's going to be the image key. So widget.image key, like that. Then what we need to do is we need to actually save this file up to the state. So instead of doing it like this, I could wrap it in a set state. We'll hang onto a file up here, like that. And what we can do is we can just do this. We can wrap this in a set state, like that. We can move this up, like that. Then when we do the load image, oh no, not yet. What we have to do is we have to do the await thing, right? Final download result is equal to await amplify dot storage dot download file, pass in the widget dot image key, and then this will be, that's why we did that. Got it. Duh. Final this dot file is equal to the file. File, like that. Then we'll put the file right here. And we will also check the download result dot Oh, it gives us the, okay, so probably omit one line like this. We'll save a line like this, and then we'll also make sure that we get the, we're only doing it to the result. So then what we should be able to do, because even if it's null, this should actually work. We'll do download result dot file like that. Boom. Okay. I guess I know what I'm doing. Maybe. I don't know. It might not even work, so I don't know why I said that. But it felt good. It did feel good. Okay, so now that we will have saved it to the cached files. Let's just see if this thing works, right? Yeah, so if file is not equal to null, then that's when we will do an image.file, and we'll pass in the file. There we go. In the meantime, let's go ahead and strike placeholder from the record. And let's see if we could just get the basics working. We'll revisit placeholder then later. And maybe put a circular progress. Oh, let's do a center, right? Center. Child circular progress indicator. Like that. There we go. So then at least we'll be able to see something. Load image. When are we calling the load image? So that's the tricky part, right? Because I don't actually know when to call load image, but we can do it in the set state. This is not going to be ideal, but let's see if we can make everything work. This might actually work. Let's find out. So we need to go back over to our feed view and post feed. Right now we have this list title, and I don't think that's what I want to do. Maybe. Let's just try to put a title in here. And we'll add in our amplify image like that. We'll pass in an image key like this. We'll just do an empty string for now. Let me make sure that I have, actually we should have the image key, I think. Let me think. Yeah, our state might actually have the image key. No. Oh, it's the post. The post should have the image key. Image key. Let's find out. No implementation found there. I think, well, that's because we didn't have it in there before. I think we might need to do a restart, and then let's see what happens. Oh, yes. Very nice, man. You love me. I love you. So how is Flutter coming along so far? So I actually like Flutter. I think it's pretty solid. It does the job, and I like the Dart programming language, so that's like always a plus, right? So, yeah, like I think that it's pretty good. It's just like, you know, it's like anything else. It has its strengths, it has its weaknesses, and I think that for the most part, I've been able to figure a lot of things out relatively quickly, so that's been pretty good. But I've also been working with Flutter for like 2 years or something like that. So, I do have a little bit of experience with some things, and that does obviously help me move along a little bit quicker. All right, it's still running Xcode build. And let's see right here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's running build because the stream gets all laggy. That's when the stream always gets laggy. All right, here we go. So we saw something, then it just exploded. Issues, see if there's any issue. Unexpected domain. File doesn't exist. This should not happen. Okay. It just exploded on me. Let me find out. Translating platform exception failed. The file doesn't exist. Yeah, it does. Don't tell me it doesn't, because it does. All right, so let's see. Maybe the download options need something. If we're uploading it under public, then shouldn't be any problems. Yeah. I would like to do a Voyage app, but I need a server that do some calculation and get me the result. What you suggest? I know Firebase, but I don't know how to do an app. If I publish, the people can't go inside my server. Yeah, if you're already using Firebase, then you might be able to get away with their cloud functions, depending on what you're trying to do. But I don't really understand, because the cloud functions are like asynchronous and you can't really get like the result back. Like there's no endpoint to the cloud functions. They just kind of do things, I'm not sure. It kind of depends on like what the actual functionality is. But this exploded. Let's let me think. All right, let's go ahead and try to do this in a new view. Let's go ahead and try to do this, but like not in a list. And then we'll work from there. So, widget test load. And what are we going to do? I think right now we'll just return a single amplify store, or what is it? Image. Dang, how do we do this? Amplify image, that's what it is. Amplify image, like that. The key, we can get the key directly. And we can do that by just going straight to the source, like this. So we get this key, like that. Image key, like that. And we'll do the app bar, and then for the body, it'll be this test load. All right, let's reboot it. Um, let's see. Yes, man, but if I publish it, there is a file that enable the app connect to my Firebase server, and this could be a problem if someone else can get it, or is not possible only for understand. But if I publish it, I don't really I still don't understand. Like, what do you mean? What are you referring to? Like, what file are you talking about? Um, there should be some type of rules that you're able to set up with Firebase where it's like secure. Let's see. Okay. So we are running into this bug and it's crashing my app and I don't know why. All right, while we wait, I'm gonna plug the Discord yet again. Feel free to join the Discord community. It's for mobile developers. And if you need help, that's one good place to go. The restart is not working, so let's go ahead and stop it altogether. There we go. And we launched this. What's going on, Daniel? Nice tutorial. Thanks for that. I just need to know about debugging in execution time like native IDEs like Xcode or Android Studio. Do you know how I can do that in Flutter and VS Code? Thanks a lot. So I'm not an expert in debugging with Android Studio or with anything that's not Xcode essentially, but I know that you can set up breakpoints. Like if you tap over here, I think that's a breakpoint right there. So now it should like stop right there. But I'm not actually too familiar with all the different tools that VS Code offers. There's also like something that Dart offers, and it opens up a whole nother web browser. But I'm not like the best person to ask about debug tools, especially with VS Code. Okay, so this failed. Let's try this path because I think that that could also be the problem. Logcat plugin, I think it's called. Oh, okay. Logcat is pretty legit. Okay, so this is one that Gonzalo recommends, and this is kind of funky with the animation. That just, I mean, they didn't have to do all that. Okay, yeah, this one has 21,000 downloads. It looks like it's about 3.5 stars. Probably be helpful, but Logcat is just logging stuff, right? So you get probably more verbose logs. But yeah, that's one way to go. Okay, so app blew up again, and I'm not really sure why. It's saying like the file doesn't exist. I'm wondering if it's because I'm doing that path and that's causing it to like explode. So now if we do it like this, right, which is what is recommended in the docs, do we still get that error? Download.png, right? And then I would have to figure out like how do I create that other path that I'm actually interested in? Like how do I create a subdirectory inside of this directory, right? But let's just get one thing working at a time. So here we go. Oh, okay, so it works. Okay, so the problem was the download path. Now what I want to do is, because I want to be able to put a subpath in here. Let's see what happens when I switch this back in our feed view. Wow. All right, so then we have, what is it called? Post feed. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's one problem, right? Like it's constantly loading the image. We don't want that, but it is doing the thing that we want it to do. So a couple of things going on here. And let me take a look at this. Where's our caption? Our caption is there. Cool. It's working. Haha. Robert, what's going on? Kilo the man, the myth, the legend. I'm just a dude working in his office. I'm not a myth or a legend. I am a man though. I'm a man. A little off topic. If I want to start learning iOS, what do you recommend to start with, SwiftUI or UIKit? Okay, so Robert, loaded question. The entire community debates over this. You know, they couldn't decide whether they wanted to fight about, storyboards or, doing stuff programmatically. So then they were like, hey, let's create another thing that we can fight about and we'll have so much fun because now there will be like 3 different ways to do it and everybody's going to be confused and it's going to be awesome. So then they created SwiftUI. So then they were like, hey, let's fight about it. And now everybody's trying to find out, hey, should I go with SwiftUI or should I go with UIKit? So it really comes down to what are you trying to accomplish, right? So if you're looking to get a job, if you're looking to get employed at a company, I would say medium to large. Let's see. All right. First, it depends on where you're coming from. Do you already know how to program, right? Do you already know how to code in some other language or with Swift or whatever, right? Do you know how to code? If you know how to code, then that kind of also influences my decision on which way to send you. But essentially, if you know how to code, then you can feel free to learn SwiftUI. But also, let me back up. Okay. Are you looking to get a job? If you're looking to get a job at a medium to large size company, go with UIKit. If you are looking to be like either self-employed, freelancing, or you're looking to start at a smaller company, then you could probably just learn SwiftUI, and that's perfectly fine too. SwiftUI still heavily depends on UIKit. You're not going to be able to get around learning, UIKit. But yeah, if you really want to go down the SwiftUI route, I don't think that there's any problems doing it. I think that you'll have a better chance at getting hired as an employee at a medium to larger company if you have stronger foundation or stronger knowledge in UIKit as opposed to SwiftUI. So I already know how to code. Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you're definitely free. If you're just starting out, then I would highly recommend, like even higher recommend UIKit, because imperative programming, I think, is a better foundation to have than to start off your career with a foundation in declarative programming, if that makes sense. But I don't know anything about iOS development right now. But yeah, like if you want, I'm going to plug the Discord again, but if you want, join the Discord, feel free to ask any more questions and I'd be happy to point you in a direction, but it really depends on where you're trying to go. If you're trying to get hired, medium to large company, UIKit. You're just going to need to know it. Your UIKit's going to be relevant for at least the next 5 years. SwiftUI is definitely becoming much more popular, but I also even have this poll up, and you can kind of see what the community is saying too. So if you take a look at this poll, I asked like 2 days ago. Which frameworks are you actively using for native iOS development? UIKit, like half of the people, almost half of, yeah, half of the people, because like 7.8 are just looking for results. Half of the people are using UIKit, right? More than half, because they're using both. And then Swift UI by itself is like maybe like a quarter of the population or something like that. But a lot of people are still using UIKit. But I'm not trying to discourage you from learning Swift UI either. So yeah. At the end of the day, learn the thing that's going to make you the happiest, because there's probably going to be job opportunities for almost everything coding related, almost, right? Almost everything. But yeah, like just do whatever makes you the happiest. If you have already a bias towards wanting to learn Swift UI, even though I'm telling you to learn UIKit, learn Swift UI. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. It's your life. You're the one that gets to live it, right? So yeah. Okay, so now we got that done, right? And if anybody else has a question, feel free to ask. That's why we do these live streams, so that I can code in front of you. You tell me when I mess up, which has been, actually, y'all have helped me a couple of times, and I really appreciate it. And then I'm also here to answer questions. So it's always like an AMA format. Ask me anything. Just so you know. All right, so then what we can also do is, if, file not equal, or is equal to null, we could do something like that. And then we could, let's see, because this wasn't working exactly as I imagined it, we could probably just do that. Let's see what that looks like. So we do a restart. There we go. All right, so now we have this going. So what I would want to do, so that we're not constantly loading, right, is I would want to, because every time that we do that, watch, I want to show you something. I want to show you how many times we're actually downloading this image. Print downloaded image. Let's do this again. Get the restart. All right, so far we have 3 downloaded images right here, right? Now, when I go back up, we have another downloaded image. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's like, it's right there. This is weird. It's like I'm a weathercaster. This is weird. Right there. Oh man. You're already coding in React Native. What your first impressions? What do you prefer, Flutter or React Native? So many questions. So Daniel, I actually don't like JavaScript, so I don't do React Native. I've heard great things. There's a huge job market for it, but I've had a lot of bad experiences with JavaScript, and I just don't like that language. Sorry. But yeah, it's a great, millions of, well, not millions, but there's a bunch of JavaScript jobs out there. There's a bunch of React Native jobs out there. If you're looking to get hired, React Native is probably a much more lucrative job market, but I personally prefer Flutter for happiness reasons. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to cache. We want to cache, right? So let's go ahead and, whoa. Let's go ahead and check. What we need to do is we need to get the downloaded file. So that's going to be, what a, is it? Well, let's just return some type of future, right? Dynamic for right now. And then we will get back get saved file. And we'll have the path, which will be a string. And now what we need to do is we need to figure out how path provider works when we're trying to get a file. Let's see, path provider. I was just on it. I don't know why I missed it. Okay, so now get applications directory. Yes. What else can we do with this though? I need a little bit extra information. Let's see. I want to get a file back. Okay. Flutter is a good choice for a Raspberry Pi desktop app. Not too large. Thanks. Interesting. Actually, Flutter is a good choice for a Raspberry Pi desktop app. Not too large. Actually, maybe. Huh. Never thought about that. So, I'm kind of curious now. Flutter dev. This is why I love asking y'all questions, because somebody was just telling me not too long ago about, what were they doing? Oh man, I wrote it down to my notes somewhere, but yeah, it was like something with Python. But yeah, like this is really cool. Does Flutter work on tvOS? Oh, I don't think so. I never even thought about tvOS. No, I would not think that it works for tvOS. But let's go ahead and take a look at this download size. I think that you could actually do Flutter development on a Raspberry Pi. I think the problem with doing it on a Raspberry Pi is the limited RAM, right? You're only going to get like 4 gigs of RAM, and you would need to also be able to run the emulator. But Flutter also supports web, so you could just do Flutter websites. Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I'm curious now. So get started, install. So there's a Linux version, right? And the disk space is 600 megabytes. Does not include disk space for IDE tool. Interesting. Okay, so as you can see, 600 megabytes. So if you wanted to put it on a Raspberry Pi, let's see, Flutter test command, provide a message package. It says Ubuntu. I don't know if Raspbian is close enough to Ubuntu to do it. Check it out. I would actually be super interested if you could get back to me on that, Theo. If you end up doing it, let me know. I would love to hear that. That's really interesting. What is the best library in Flutter for state management, Block or GetX? I think the more popular one is Block right now, but there is no best, right? Like that's the whole entire thing about programming, is that there's a bunch of options and there's a bunch of different ways to solve a problem. And, it just depends on the developer and how they choose to solve that problem. So if you feel more comfortable with GetX, then use GetX. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think. Not that I know of. I haven't done much research with GetX, so just, keep that in mind. But I know that Block has been around for a while. I know that larger applications are using it. I've heard that it scales really well, and it can be relatively easy if you kind of follow the videos that I try to teach it, as opposed to necessarily jumping into the docs, because the docs do make it kind of hard. What's going on, Winston? Hope you are doing well today. I am doing great. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing? How's everybody in the chat doing? Like, y'all showing me some love. I'm loving the questions. Keep them coming. Feel free to keep them coming if you have a question. Next, what we want to do is we want to get this saved file. So now, I suppose this would be get saved file, and we will get this essentially. Oh, poop. I have a meeting. Oh, man. All right. I have a meeting. Time flew today. I'm going to plug the Discord chat one more time. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in there. I wasn't paying attention to the time, so I got interrupted right here. Lots of great stuff. We're gonna pick up tomorrow. I do these live streams Monday through Thursday, and I do it for about an hour and 45 minutes. So if you do an hour 45 minutes minus the time that you have right now, that's when I'm gonna be on tomorrow. So thanks for you all joining the stream today. Go out there and keep coding passionately.